What's up? Tomas Keenan here. We're talking about the skills that you have to master in order to become a solid business owner. A couple of these are going to be obvious, and a couple of these are going to be like, oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. These are a couple of things that I've had to work on very hard in order to get better at. Some of these you may be really good at out of the gate. It's like a natural skill that you just have. And other ones are going to be like, man, I don't want anything to do with that. Well, I hate to break it to you. You're going to have to go and get skilled up in this area if you want to be a successful business owner. So let's dive in here. Number one, communication. You have to become an effective communicator. There's multiple ways to do this, but in my experience, anything that we're going to discuss here in this video comes down to repetition and you actually going and doing the work. So communication comes in many different forms. We're talking written, we're talking oral communication. The more you write, the more that you send emails, the more that you send text messages, the more that you pick up the phone and you talk to your clients. This is all forms of effective communication. Every time that you do it, it's a rep that gets added and you just get better at it. So become a super effective communicator. Communication to me is super important. It's one of our core values here at Step It Up Academy. And without it, I mean, things just go wrong. So become a proactive communicator. Okay, so we got communication. Number two, this is one of the biggest pain points. One of the hardest things that I had to learn and get good at was hiring. And hiring has a lot to do with communication that we just talked about, has a lot to do with the core values that you've established for your company, has a lot to do about the messaging that you put out in your marketing. And it all comes back to you wanting to attract the right person to come into your organization. And then you have to develop a hiring process to pull these people through. And this hiring process, in my opinion, should literally come into place, and it's there to trip up people who are not a good fit for your organization. And the ultimate idea is to filter out as many people as possible from this hiring process. Hiring is very similar to marketing. The difference here is that when we bring people into the marketing funnel, right, or the hiring funnel, let's say we got the funnel here, we get all these people come in the top of the funnel. We want as few people as possible to come out the bottom and receive offers to come and work for our organization. The other one here, since we're talking about it, is marketing. You got to get skilled up. You have to understand marketing. I'm not saying you have to go and become a complete SEO nerd, a landing page builder extraordinaire. Like, yeah, those are skill sets in and of themselves. But you have to know enough about marketing to speak intelligently about it. You also have to know enough about marketing so when you go out there and you do hire the marketing agency, you can tell if they're bullshitting or not. And it's one of those things where you just got to get good enough. You have to understand it. And hey, maybe you are a badass marketer. And there's multiple different angles to marketing, but go ahead, get skilled up on marketing. I'm a firm believer without marketing, there is no sales. Marketing leads to sales. For the longest time, I never thought of myself as a sales guy, right? And it almost had a bad word or bad connotation associated to it. Everyone thinks like that dirty, greasy haired used car sales guy. I never wanted to be that dude. And yet when I look back in my career, I started selling retail car audio when I was 17 years old. And from that moment forth, I've been a salesperson, whether I had that title on me or not. And it's one of those areas that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I walked into that business back in the day, 1997 to be exact. I walked in there, I said, hey, I want to work as a car stereo installer for you guys. And the guy said, no, he goes, you're too clean cut, you're working in sales. And I was not happy when the dude told me that, but I needed a job. I was 17 years old, fresh out of high school. And if it wasn't for that, it would not have kickstarted my sales career, and still to this day, the lessons that I learned in that retail sales environment, I still use to this day in my company, in my coaching and consulting business. So go ahead and get skilled up on the sales. Okay, we've got leadership. This is a really big one. Okay, this is one of those things where you become a better leader the more that you focus and practice leadership. If you're not practicing leadership, then get yourself into the damn books and read the books. Go read the leadership books. There's dozens of them out there. Two of my favorite are EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey, and we have Jocko Willink's book as well, Extreme Ownership. Go read those books on leadership. You're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn a lot about how to effectively lead other people. Okay, that's a skill that you cannot skip over. You have to basically say, all right, cool, I'm a leader. You got to start talking to yourself as if you are a leader, because if you have anybody who's on your team that you're responsible for, you have more leadership responsibility than you could ever imagine. I often refer to it like this. If you've got, let's say you got 10 people working for you, okay? And of those 10 people, every one of them is married and has 2 kids and owns a house. Well, This is like this giant pyramid scheme that's happening here. So you got you at the top, the business owner, and you've got all your 10 people who work under you, and all of those 10 people have a significant other and 2 kids and a house and a dog and probably 2 cars in the driveway. You as a leader are effectively responsible for all of that, not just the employee who works for you. So that's why I take leadership. So it's the real deal. You got to take it for what it is. It's a massive responsibility. When you decide to become the business owner and bring people onto your team, you can't screw around. You have other people's livelihoods that are literally at your fingertips, and you have to do the right thing at all times. Okay, let's go into the final one. It should be obvious, but often a lot of us who don't like finances, I'm one of them, okay? And we're talking financial management. We're talking upping your financial skill set here. For me, business was never about the money. It was about doing the right thing for people, right? And some people are opposites. Some people are all about the money, and that comes first. I get it. Everyone's different. But this is one skill set that if you don't figure it out, if you don't spend some time, you don't get skilled up, you don't learn about it, your business is not going to survive. You have to be financially educated. You have to understand certain things in order to make all the pieces of the business puzzle, the business pie come together, and finances is one of them. Without proper money, without capital, without setting bank accounts up the proper way, without understanding the tax laws and the tax codes and what you can and cannot do as a business owner, you're setting yourself up to fail. So get skilled up, go read some really cool stuff on it. There's tons of resources out there. And if it's an area that you're really not strong, like for me personally, one of the first things that I always delegate off when I start a new company is some form of bookkeeping, right? Go find the financial professional that you think is going to best serve you and your company, and go hire them and let them help you with their skill set and their knowledge of money. Let them help you become a better overall effective business owner, a better leader, a better marketer, a better communicator, and you'll thank yourself for it when the time is right.